Hey, I'm Charles D'Angelo. You know, there are some moments in your life that change your entire future, and there are certain places where those moments happen. A place that a life-changing moment happened for me was right here at 6501 Clayton Road, otherwise known as the Clayton Road campus of CBC High School. 20 years ago this year, this campus closed its doors and reopened out at Highway 40 and Mason-Urbalish Road. Today, we're going to take you inside and let you see just what's happened to the campus in the many years it's been closed. Well, welcome to the old CBC campus at 6501 Clayton Road. You know, as I walk through these halls, it's almost as if you're quiet enough, you can hear the voices of former teachers, students, and administrators.
Gentlemen, I see a couple of people that need to come into my office and check out my razor. So therefore you'll get the shave. Also, I see a shirt tail out. Now that is not going to happen. You will look like a student at CBC. Another factor is book bags are never to be in the hallway. They go in the locker, and that's the absolute truth.
My God, it's Ray Bahr.
Charles, how you doing?
Good to see you, sir. You look fantastic.
Well, I don't know about that. I feel a lot more mature.
Well, would you mind giving us a little walkthrough of the campus? You know, this year marks 20 years that CBC here on Clayton Road closed its doors. So would you mind giving us a little tour?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and we'll walk through the campus.
Okay.
Obviously, it's changed a little bit. It's been upgraded somewhat. This is the detention class that the kids, if they got in a little bit of trouble, what they'd have to do is they'd have to go ahead and come in here for 1 hour after school. Actually, it was only 50 minutes. And for that 1 hour, they sit there and they do homework. The one thing that I like about the kids in this group is it's called job security. I love the word job security because a kid screwing up means I continue to work here at the school.
Does it bring back a lot of memories seeing all this?
Oh yeah, well, it's changed a little bit.
Let's check out the rest of the school. So what was your early morning like? Like what time did you get to school? Do you remember?
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm kind of ready.
I remember too.
It's 12 after 6 in the morning. And I'd get here and then I'd open up the office, and then my secretary, I told Liz to not come in until about 7:30 because it gave me enough time to prepare whatever was going to be done during the day. The cell phone came in, and that really irritated me. So what I did was I cut the cell phone from the faculty and also the kids, because I found out early on, you treat the faculty the same as the kids say, hey, he treats them the same, so it works out. It's like when we got the dress and hair code, same thing. Of course, there's a little bit more. We had the coat and tie and everything, and then it told the teachers to get rid of the coat, put it in a locker, whatever, and just have shirt and tie.
Well, let's continue and let's go out here and see what's happened to the rest of the building.
This is the office, this is the windows that would actually, a student would come up and talk to Liz, and then if they got in trouble, they sat out there on the bench.
Yeah, that church bench.
It was a church bench, that's good. Liz, the secretary, was here, her office, and basically my office was probably started about here. And I had the desk, the windows, and then I had 2 chairs. And I rarely could bring in a 3rd chair from Liz's office.
And do you remember you had the 2 chairs out here where your couriers would sit? Remember that?
I don't know. I thought I was a pretty nice guy, but obviously not. And the kids would come in and they're kind of nervous, and I say, tell me what you did. You get sent to my office. You already know what you did. You ought to know. So therefore, don't waste my time.
So here's the old theater. Go ahead in, sir.
Oh, wow.
Wow, when I was a student here, Tom Murray ran the theater department.
Yeah,
it still looks pretty much the same.
Yeah, it is. Learned a lot when we converted in 1980. This was built along with the gym and everything, and I was involved in it, and I had no idea. And I learned a lot from Tom. He came in and became the theater man, along with Ed later.
Getz.
Yeah, Getz for a lot of years. You go to all the functions, all of them, as a dean. And all of a sudden, I brought my wife. It was supposed to be a theater presentation. So we're sitting somewhere right in there. And all of a sudden, they're going crazy, and the girls and the boys come out, and all of a sudden they have these cans, and they squirt, and it's like confetti, but it's strings.
Silly string.
What is it?
Silly string.
Yeah, silly string. And I got, Janie just says, don't you move. And she says, look, it's just this stuff. That doesn't mean anything. It doesn't hurt your clothing. Because, you know, I'm a novice in anything. I'm just a brute, basically. But it was so cool to have all the strings, and they love it because I'm bald as a cucumber, and it's just coming down like anywhere. And we had a great time coming in there.
Let's go take a look at the band room.
Yeah, let's do that.
You have some good stories, sir.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So this was the band room. All of us would come in here, and there were practice rooms down here. I would practice the piano in one of those 3 rooms. It looks obviously very different. But yeah, this is where we all would practice. You remember the Friday night football games?
Yep.
And the band would come here. And the real practice area was upstairs. Let's go take a look. Yeah, so this is actually where all of the boys would practice, really, was up here. And we always thought it was so cool. And Jerry Rana, what he would often do, because we were all, you know, teenagers, and we might not have slept well the night before, been up too late, fooling around, and he would open that door over here and make it ice cold in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, this door here. And you look out here and you can see the football fields, which are obviously still used by Wash U.
I am really
Wash U's done an amazing job.
I'm thoroughly impressed with the way they redid the field and got rid of the bleachers on the back side and everything.
We had some really notable people come through the school when I was a student. I remember Bob Costas came up for an event one time, for a football game. Boy, this was the place to be on a Friday night when you're in high school. All the guys down there, the jazz band was playing, the girls from the other schools would come. It was just such a fun, life-changing experience. Yeah.
Looks really good.
So this was Brother Paul's roof. Wow. What a cool view. Remember the parties up here with Brother Paul?
I sure do. Most of it. But Brother Paul was really big on partying, I would say. So he invited a number of faculty members to come up here, and we'd have a nice party. And Brother Paul was quite a cook.
And he was quite a gardener.
Oh, gardener, cook, everything. And when he'd barbecue up here, that was worth the effort to come up here. And we just lost him about 1.5 years ago. Very popular man with most of the kids. And Brother Paul also was responsible for
groundskeeping.
Groundskeeping, and then once in a while he'd come to me and say, Ray, can you talk to your kids on detention class and get a couple of them to volunteer instead of having like 5 hours detention Monday through Friday, 1 hour each. They could come on Saturday from 8 to 12 and they'd work in the grounds.
So right here was the place where life really turned around for me as a high schooler. You know, I grew up as a young guy, overweight, bullied in grade school, never really feeling like I belonged anywhere. And when I came to CBC, it was a sanctuary for me. By the time I was a freshman, my mom was struggling with prescription drug addiction and alcoholism. And my dad, he was so busy just trying to manage all that and take care of the family that he didn't really have the opportunity to give me the type of presence that so many teachers and so many administrators were able to give me here. And I don't think that I would have become the man I am today if it wasn't for you seeing in me the potential I couldn't see in myself. You know, I craved that fatherliness that you just exuded to so many young men that I remember after you offered me a job to work in your office, many days, even if there wasn't anything to do, I would just come and sit in front of your desk just to be with you, just to have the sense of a loving, masculine energy, you know, what all boys I think really need to fulfill their potential. And so I just hope you know what a difference you made in my life, what a difference you've made in countless young men's lives that have went on to use that type of influence and experience to better the world and to be leaders just like you once were. So thanks for everything you did for us.
Yeah, you see a lot of young men go forward, and of course now some of them are in the 70s graduates, 80 graduates, 90, and I see them every day, and you really can't go anywhere without Mr. Bahr, you know, and of course you start talking to him, and of course they introduce, sometimes I have to say, this is your wife, what's her name, and the kids and all that, and it's kind of nice to meet their kids and everything, and know where they're doing. And it's like anything else, St. Louis is known for where you went to high school. It's funny, like you go anywhere else in the country, I think, people, that's not the first thing they ask you. But I think CBC is a lot like the other Catholic schools too. Like I said earlier, I converted, and I have no regrets on that because I'm very solid in that Catholicism and so forth. And I think I am also a firm believer in all-boys school versus co-ed. I think that it works a little bit better. The distractions are not as great. I'm very fortunate. Came in 72, 73, and I lived here 33 years. Got here early in the morning, left late at night, and then you went to a function, usually an athletic event, because they asked me as the dean to do a lot of stuff after school, and of course I did that, and so forth. But basically it looks very good, looks the same pretty much, new floor.
Remember the big rallies in here? Would you say, give me a C, give me a B, what's that spell? Upside down, backwards.
I lost my...
You lost your voice.
You remember that time? Yeah. I lost my voice, because it came back. But
you couldn't even do announcements.
I couldn't do any announcements. The voice was gone, and I never will do that again. I just kind of toned it down. You know what I did was, I used the mic from then on.
Oh yeah.
Because I think Dan Barkowski was here at the time. Maybe Dan or somebody else said, Ray, you got to quit doing it without the mic. He said, well, I never had any problems. But when I lost that voice that one day, I panicked. I realized that, I probably destroyed it.
You were straining yourself.
Yeah, my vocal cords are gone. But basically the same standards and everything. You got cross courts. They're not quite as wide and as long, but that was the big side, yeah. This was the small side. Yeah.
Those are still the same bleachers?
Yeah, the same bleachers, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Sir, it's been awesome taking a stroll through memory lane with you. 20 years later, I'm sure a lot of guys are going to watch this. Someone sitting at home and is going to look at this and just going to jog all sorts of awesome memories. Yeah. I want to thank you for taking the time to come out to talk. And thanks for all the many years of service to all the young men that became leaders and men for the future because of influences like yours.
Thank you. Just keep up the good work too, all right?
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks for coming.